Again, every time Nigeria is ringing bell. If I look on news, it is bell. If I look social media, it is problem. Eh? When I should be drinking coffee, they will make me to come online. They don't want to have me to rest. But you know what? You know what? The spirit in me, the Biafra spirit in me, I said, when I told you, if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is looking for 100 people, I promise that I have 50 in me. You have not seen anything. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. But, you know, as an eke or eke. My own oru, I am a roya, ike. You understand? Till Biafra come. But, today you are going to receive sense. The crypto, Nigeria crypto. As they are crippling your economy, they close border. They close the border. ESN came out automatically, you know, weaponized. It shocked them. It shocked them. They said, this border no work, oh. This close of border will not work, oh. Now, how do we stop the funding now of this Sunday or Igbo? How do we stop the contribution? Let us stop the crypto. Because they were following Nigerians, southern Nigerians. Use crypto. We should open crypto. We use crypto. Don't use the Western Union. Don't use this. They say, so these people are doing crypto. Okay, let us slash them. Bah! They are not considering the economic impact of crypto. No. They are not considering how much the crypto is bringing to Nigeria economy. Their agenda is not to make Nigeria progress. No. They have a better agenda. Now you get the point. Now you get the point. My only problem is that why is it that you must wait? Thomas. Was Thomas born in Nigeria? Is Thomas a Nigerian? Is Thomas in the Bible in Nigeria? Are you a lineage of Thomas? Are you a lineage of Thomas? All of you have Thomas blood in your vein. How did you get Thomas blood in your vein? That it must happen to you first before you understand. We hear more in another. You hear more kind of man. Whoo! When we are telling you, you don't know, we are telling you, even we are not prophets, but everything we have said, everything we open this mouth to say, if it don't happen today, it will happen tomorrow. I want you to go from the beginning of this struggle. From the beginning. In fact, even the one that we are not sure of, once God asks us to say it, we will say it and God will do it. Hey! I said, did you see the prayer? May God harden the heart of the leaders in Nigeria so that we will tell them, the world may know that Obi is no longer a boy. I remember when we used to read the history of the Greeks, the Greek gods. I don't know, you know, of course you don't read all those things in Africa. The history of the Greek gods. Medusas. Medusas.
This is na wicked word. This is na confusion word. Listen to Palibrand. I will be telling you a story about one lady girl. Pali they go to work. Pali they work for bank. Then I enter for motor. The driver they go. The driver they go. Opposite Udi. By the right hand side. Along Gusukulu Road. I see people run. I see people run. Then I ask the driver waiting they happen. The driver waiting they happen. The driver tell the Pali boy. See no day for talk. See no day for talk. If better you take your eye and see. Then I call the driver. The driver waiting. The driver waiting.
I want you people to understand that the liberation of Biafra has entered the highest stage in the history of Biafra. Not even during the war. I am telling you, it has entered the highest stage ever. And we are going to do everything humanly possible in this life to restore Biafra. Everything humanly possible will be done. And I want you people to understand that the Biafra liberation is step by step, segment by segment, plan by plan, executions by execution. We'll be executing those plans according to the template till the last one. And Biafra.
Let us go talk about the objective of your struggle and how do you intend to achieve it in practical terms?
In practical terms, it is civil disobedience. The same way that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. accomplished civil rights in America, the same way that Mahatma Gandhi led India to independence out of British colonial rule, the same principles we are applying, and might I add, very successfully too. We will do everything possible to unravel and unshackle the zoo called Nigeria. Everything humanly possible. No stone will be left unturned. We will sacrifice everything sacrificable. Material, life, blood will throw into.
And we will do everything humanly possible to see the Biafra.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on today's program, wherever you are joining from. Please, as you join us, like and share to other platforms, share to family and friends, share to your neighbors. Wherever you are, I urge you to make sure you invite somebody to this very program. It is important. As always, every one of us have to wake up from our sleep because there is fire on the mountain. This is not the time to pretend. We can no longer pretend. Remember, what we do in this platform is to raise create awareness, to wake up the consciousness of the Biafran people, to remind you those things that you fail to look into. That is what we do in this platform, to present the case of Biafra before the whole world, to tell the people what is going on and what to expect. My fellow Biafrans that are watching wherever you are watching from, invite somebody to join us on this program. Like and share it on your platform. If you are not sharing, you are not helping the cause of Biafra. If you are not liking this program, you are not helping the cause of Biafra. We must put our hands together to pursue the cause of Biafra for us to get to the peak of it. A lot is happening and continue to happen. That is why we are having sleepless night. So many of us are supposed to be sleeping by this hour of the night. So many of us are supposed to be relaxing and resting. But we cannot sleep, we cannot have rest because our nation is at war. When we say our nation is at war, some people do not understand. They think we are just making it up. They think we are just trying to whip up emotion. No. When we say that our nation is at war, it is the truth and nothing but the truth. And if you are not yet seeing it, I don't know when you are going to begin to see it. The warfare that Nigeria has waged against Biafrans is becoming more pronounced than ever. It is becoming more pronounced than ever for a reason best known to them. Sometimes do you ask yourself, why have they decided to wage this war against us? Do you sometimes ask yourself, as I do? I ask myself, what crime have we committed that is making Nigeria want to exterminate us? What crime have you committed? And when I search right, left, and center, back and front, I see no crime. All I see is hatred. Hatred upon the children of Chukwuokike Abiama. That is why I have come this night to talk to you and to talk to those who care to listen. Whether you are a Biafran or non-Biafran that will come across our video, I've come to talk to you. That's why I chose this topic this evening. We are whom we are because Chukwuokike Abiama made us so. And he must defend our land. No apologies. We are whom we are because Chukwuokike Abiama made it so. And we must defend our land. Do you normally sit back and ask yourself, why this war against the Biafrans? Why this global conspiracy against you? Why the global attack against you? Locally, internationally, even up to your own bedroom. Have you sat back to ask yourself, why? I do ask myself, what have we done? And after searching right, left, and center, the only thing I see is envy, jealousy of what Chukwuokike Abiama have placed in us. It is not we, the Biafrans, that created ourselves. We did not make ourselves. Chukwuokike Abiama created us and placed us on that portion of land to occupy it, to develop it, to nourish it, and take care of it. That is the only crime we have committed. Standing for that which we are created for. Working so hard to succeed. Never giving up. Obedience to Chukwuokike Abiama. Reverence to Chukwuokike Abiama. You can say anything you want to say. You can tag us with anything. But in everything we do, the fear of Chukwuokike Abiama is there. We mention his name. I am not telling you there are no idiots among us. I'm not telling you there are no evil men. There are evil men among us. But in the midst of us, only those few miscreants that are bringing this bad name to us. Major, including those idiots, they know that Chukwuokike Abiama exists. They know. It doesn't matter how evil a person is in Biafra land. They recognize that there is a higher power. That when the time comes, they will definitely pay dearly for whatever they have done. That is why no Biafran is doing anything out of ignorance. I don't believe it. Because from the moment we were born, from the time we are breastfed, we are meant to understand that you must live right. You must obey the words of Chukwuokike Abiama. And you will get those information from the name your parents give to you, from your surname that you answer, from the name of your brothers and sisters, the name you call people every day. Always remind you about Chukwuokike Abiama, that there is a higher power. But the Zoological Republic have hated us because of this fact, have made us to change our mindset, have made us to begin to go against ourselves. But are we going to reject whom we are because of our enemy to please our enemy? God forbid. Are we going to reject whom we are to please our enemy? God forbid. It's not going to happen. There is nothing that will make me to deny my Biafranness. And there's nothing that will make me to stop speaking on behalf of my people. There's nothing that will make me to stop pursuing the cause of freedom for myself and my generation unborn. No amount of war will make me to forget my fatherland. No amount of war will make me to go against myself. The assignment that we have is to defend our land by all means necessary. Mazen Nandekanu say, I will do everything humanly possible to restore Biafra. Everything, material, life, blood, whatever it takes to get Biafra. I'm in for it. They can't understand why we are so bent on this Biafra. They don't understand. And I don't expect them to understand. That is why when I hear people say, I know how you feel as a Biafran, you don't. You can never know how a Biafran feels except you are a Biafran. You can never know how we feel as Biafran except you are a Biafran. Only when you are a Biafran you can understand how a Biafran feels. The situation in the contraption called Nigeria is very clear. The hatred is not hidden. The wickedness is not hidden. In fact, the wickedness is enshrined in the Constitution. That is how bad it is. It is so clear that when you give birth to a child, immediately that child comes of age. From their primary level, they begin to understand that where they are is not where they are supposed to be. With the things around them, from their primary school, even up to nursery school, the way they are treated and handled, they begin to ask questions to their parents. Are we truly from this Zoological Republic of Nigeria? Because of whom we are. Because of our resilience. Because of our hard work. Because of the strength. People see us as a threat. It doesn't matter how we do to pacify them. It doesn't matter how we do to please them. They will never, ever be pleased with what we do. The country where we find ourselves, they see us as a threat. Not because we are taking the life of anybody. Not because we are taking the land of anybody, occupying any land. Not because we are forcing anyone to buy into our own idea, but because we are doing what we love to do. And I bet you, my fellow Biafrans, we will continue to fight this battle until the last man standing. Just like Mazen Dandekano said, even if it is only one person that survived, that one person will build a Biafra where other people will learn a lesson. A Biafra where people can live like human beings. A Biafra where people will look at and say, yes, this is a country of God. A lot is going on. And in this week, my most concern this week is those of us who are focusing on the negative instead of looking onto the positive. I am going to preach this message throughout the whole week. So many of us, low self-esteem have made us not to do what we are supposed to do, not to think the way we are supposed to think, to be afraid of our freedom. It is that same low self-esteem and being afraid of your freedom that is making some people today to turn as informant against their own brother. Onye gịnị ya chụna ụna-achị nta ọnọkata ụna-anya n'azụ ọsọ na okwu dị ka ọkpa ele ọsọ na ọkpa dị ka ọkpa ele. That is what we see in this pursuit. So many people that I stood on the same platform and preach Biafra today, they can't even set their eyes on me. So many people that I stood on the same platform to promote the cause of Biafra, when I look at what they are doing today, I shake my head. There is never a time every one of us will have the same mindset. That is certain. I have my grievances with some other people. I do not accept everything that is happening in the cause of Biafra. It is not every time that I agree with what I see, but that will not push me to the extent of destroying the foundation that was laid, that has been laid. The foundation that is going to lead me to that freedom. I cannot destroy the foundation just because of one simple thing that is amendable. You can imagine somebody that laid a solid foundation to set up a building. A solid foundation that he set up a building. So all of a sudden, in the process of the building, just simply because you saw a little projection of a rod that came out that it can just hit that rod and it will go back to its position and you plaster it. Then because you just see a simple mistake of a rod that just projected out, you decide to destroy the entire foundation to start afresh. Who does that? Who does that? The reason why we see people today acting as informant against themselves is low self-esteem. Low self-esteem that have been put in some of us by the caliphate themselves. Some people now believe that Biafra is not achievable. Some people believe that Biafra is not achievable. That is how bad it is. Some people believe that Biafra is not achievable. After the kidnap of Mazen Dandekano, so many people withdraw from this cause simply because they believe that only Mazen Dandekano can lead us to that victory. There is nothing wrong in having trust in Mazen Dandekano. But for you trying to put all the load on him that without him you can't do nothing is wrong. It's a very wrong move. in as much as our love for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu cannot be overemphasized, we cannot run away from our responsibility because he is not there. That is the worst thing we can do to him. Walking away from the struggle simply because he is not there, you are not doing any good to anybody. In fact, you are creating more damages. In fact, you are creating problem for that man you said you love. Many people withdraw after the kidnapping of Mazen Nnamdi. Up to today, they now believe that it is impossible to get Biafra. That since the Jew can be able to kidnap Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that Biafra is not achievable. And so many of us continue to have the belief that it is possible. We say, yes, we can. Whether in the presence of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu or his absence, Biafra will come. We continue to pursue the cause of Biafra. Under the Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, we continue to march while we wait for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to join us. We are not waiting for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu folding our hands. We are waiting for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu at the same time busy doing something, building on the foundation Mazen Nnamdi Kanu laid. We did not destroy that foundation. And so many got aggrieved. So many believe that Mazi Simon Ekpa is not qualified to lead. Not because he is not really qualified, just because some of them feel they were there before him. Some feel they are older than him. Some feel that they know more about Biafra than him. Some out of jealousy, envy, and greed. Some out of pride. They feel they cannot walk under him. And they began to walk against something that they suffered for. They began to destroy the entire foundation that had been laid. But I thank Chukwuokike that Mazi Simon Ekpa did not allow them to succeed. The more they try to destroy him, the more stronger he gets. Mazi Simon Ekpa was able to maneuver. In the midst of a terrible war, he was able to lead the redeclaration of Biafra. He led it to the last point. Mazi Simon Ekpa led the redeclaration of Biafra to the last very point. He put every single structure in place. He did not leave any stone unturned. Mazi Simon Ekpa made sure that every single thing we needed is in place. Mazi Simon Ekpa put in place every single thing we need in the midst of all the attack, blackmail, propaganda, until they succeeded in taking him away from our midst. And when they took him away from our midst, I know that Mazi Simon Ekpa will not expect us to fold our hands, because he expects us to learn from him what he did. If anybody is telling you that Mazi Simon Ekpa will expect us to wait until he comes out, it's a lie. The last thing he will expect us is to wait and say we're waiting for him. No. The same man that told you that nobody can be in detention and be dictating what is going on outside. Nobody can be in detention and begin to direct what is going on. The same man, and you think he will be happy that you are silent doing nothing, then you don't know him. You are not his followers. But I thank Chukwuokike that somebody stepped up, the COS, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, to declare that Biafra. And today, you and I, every one of us, we are the part of that declaration led by Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. We were all part of that declaration. The worst thing you can do to yourself today is to walk away from that declaration and say, because of one grievances or the other, that you are no longer part of it. That is the worst mistake you can make. To walk away from that declaration is the worst mistake any human being can make, no matter who you are. The worst mistake any Biafra can make. But I thank Chukwuokike that people are standing strong, pushing, even in the midst of trials and temptation. And today, Even the enemies are fighting. They are finding it difficult to believe that even after Mazi Simon have absent, that these people are still moving on. They blackmail Mazi Nandekan. Biafra didn't stop. They blackmail Mazi Simon. Biafra didn't stop. Today, they have decided to change the narrative today in that mode of blackmail to channel it on the Liberation Army. And they want to use that to destroy every single thing we are doing. The target is you. When you see them mention the name of Gentle, that Gentle is the one sponsoring the atrocities against the Biafrans. Their target is to destroy the image of Biafra because they know that Gentle is fighting for Biafra sincerely. There is no doubt anyway. It doesn't matter what Gentle believes. It doesn't matter how Gentle does his thing. The truth remains that Gentle is standing out for Biafra. He has given all, his life, his brother, his family, his parents. He gave up everything. And his focus is there. Without Biafra today, Gentle will not be. It is a fact that everybody must understand. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are as a Biafran, no matter what you hear people say, no matter what you hear people do, always remember that with or without our leaders, that you are supposed to fight to make sure that our restoration of Biafra is achieved. The worst thing you can do today is to fold your hand and say you are waiting for Mazi Simon Ekpa to come. You are waiting for Mazi Nandekan to come. While you are waiting for them, you must be busy doing something. In fact, if Mazi Simon Ekpa hears that somebody said you won't do anything until he comes, he will spit on you because you don't know what you are doing. The same man that told us that you don't take order from somebody who is in detention. The same man that told us that Biafrans cannot be waiting for somebody who is held captive to come and speak on our behalf. You think he will be happy today that you are walking away from the real thing? He will never be happy. He will never, ever be happy with you. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, we must stand with our Liberation Army by fire, by force. Any attack against our Liberation Army is an attack against us. It is our duty to protect and defend Biafra. Do it the best way you can, anytime, any day. Some of us that are coming out to speak, you think we have too much time, right? Some of you think we don't have something doing. You think we don't have something doing. This particular moment I'm talking to you, I'm supposed to be sleeping. I'm supposed to be asleep. But how can I find sleep when there is a problem on the air? How can I find sleep when my home is at war? Every phone call, voice messages in my phone are all threat, fear everywhere, death smelling everywhere. We have to continue to warn so as to save as many people as we can. We have to continue to warn so as to save as many people as can. If you are a Biafran and you are acting as an informant against your fellow Biafran, it is not ordinary. If you are a Biafran, the only thing you see is the disadvantage of your fellow Biafran. You never look at the advantages. There are thousands and millions of advantages of being a Biafra, of your fellow Biafrans. You don't look at it. All you look at it at the negative. If you're one of those that have the right mindset, that you see everything negative about Biafra, but you never see anything positive. The only thing that is disturbing you is low self-esteem. And I'm talking to Biafrans. This message is not for all that. I'm talking to Biafrans. It is high time we begin to look at the positive aspect of ourselves than the negative. More especially the Igbo Biafrans. You know, when we talk about Biafra and we keep on mentioning Igbo Biafra, it is because Igbo Biafrans are in large number. They are in greater number, and they are the ones that are in the front line. That is why whenever we speak, we call on them. The Igbo brothers are just, Igbos are just like the senior brother in the cause of Biafra. And they have the greater responsibility. The greater responsibility. That is why we always call them. Because if we can be able to get ourselves right, if we can be able to get our minds right, things will be much more easier than it is today. If we can get our minds set right, things will be much more easy than it is today. That is why every time we call on the Igbo Biafrans, when we speak about Biafra, we call about, it doesn't mean that it is only them. It's not only them. But we know that the Igbo Biafrans are the most endangered. They are the ones that have lost much. They are the ones that are much committed. They are larger in number. So when we always talk about Biafra and mention them, we are not denigrating other people or looking down other people. It is just a fact that we are bringing out to call on their attention because they have a major role to play. That is why sometimes when some of my Igbo brothers begin to complain about people not having sit at home on their own side, I told them, everybody have a role to play. To him, much is given, much is expected. A lot is expected from us. That is why in the course of this Biafra, you don't wait or look at your life and say, oh, because somebody from this area is not doing, somebody in the coastal region is not doing this, you not do it. Somebody is there. No, don't do that. Once you begin to look at others that they're not because you're not, you are just falling into the trap of the enemies. You are falling into the trap of the enemies. If we must stop the divide and rule in Biafra, it is we that will stop it. If we stand our ground, they will not have no place. And I bet you, in this generation, in 21st century, in these early years, I can see the unity that is coming back within the Igbo Biafra. If we can get it right, the Igbo Biafra, if we get it right, it will be very easy for us to sell. It will be very easy for us to overcome. And just like I always say, that people have different responsibilities. I have seen some people that have taken some challenges, even though they are not talking about Biafra, but they have taken challenges, different challenges on their own, which is geared at making a better life for us. I have seen some people that are on the project of unifying all the Igbos across the whole Nigeria. That is a good project. When I see them, I watch them, it's a very good project. I see people who are embarking on that mission to unify all the Igbos in Nigeria, to make them have a one voice. That very move is very important and key. And when I see them, I pray that they are doing this with all sincerity. It is going to take us far. That is one of the things we need, because that very unification is important. Without that unification, it will be very difficult to carry everybody along. If the Janjaweed could be able to penetrate even within us, the Igbos, to make us begin to deny our identity, you must have known that they have done a great damage. If an Igbo man can stand up and tell you that I am not Igbo, oh my God, how then are you going to convince somebody from Ijo, who is your cousin brother, that you are together? How are you going to convince somebody in Efik, who is your cousin brother, that is with you? How are you going to convince somebody from a Banke, your cousin brother, that is with you? That is why that unification move is very key and important. When I see their program, I love it so much. There's one guy that always embarking on that journey of Igbo unification. You know, when you talk about Igbo in Nigeria, the criminals, the terrorist country called Nigeria and their British Empire, with all their idiotic Awolowo boys, when you talk about Igbo, the next thing is 5 states. Oh, your 5 southeastern states. 5 eastern states. Whenever you mention Igbo, they say, but Igbos are in 12 states. 12. I am talking about indigenous. Take note of this word. Indigenous in 12 states, not 5. 12 states. Why do you think that they are bent on removing our brothers from us? Why do you think they are bent on sowing this seed of discord among us? And the greatest one is that they are using the politicians to do this work. That is why when you hear creation of state, run. Whenever Nigeria is creating state, their modus of operandi to divide us is creation of state. Creation of state has not brought any development to Biafra land, has not brought any development for Igbo people, have not brought it, and will never, ever bring any development to us. If you're one of those who is praying for creation of state, you don't know what you're doing to yourself. I can bet you that we are more united when we are just southeastern region. We are successful and united, speaking in one voice. That was why we were able to stand 3 years war. 3 good years war. It is because we were standing in a bunch. You can't divide us. And after that civil war, they began to division creation of states. The target was to create that enmity. Even we were much more stronger when we had only the Anambra state and the Imo state. Anambra and Imo, we are doing very, very well. Many major developments you see in Biafra land today, in that 5 states they are talking about, many major developments you see are the things that we are done when it was only Imo and Anambra. When it was only Imo and Anambra, that was when the major development you see today happened. But the more they divide it, the more confusion. You see now, Imo and Anambra, that wasn't enough. They came to Anambra, they divided Anambra again, and they created Enugu from Anambra. We were even crying of that creating Enugu. Enugu they created brought division. The people in Anambra begin to see themselves different from people from Enugu state. People from Anambra begin to see themselves as different. We were complaining of that, trying to manage it. They went ahead to divide more Enugu states and remove the Ebonyi. And what you are seeing now is chaos. Everybody is looking to each other as strangers. And the people that are pushing this agenda, making sure that they stand, are the politicians. The politicians. Their interest is not development. The interest of the government in creation of the state is division. Don't you ever forget it. You know, some of you cry for creation, they say, oh, create more state. Creation of state, the targets they have to create state is division. To divide you. To divide you. And the politicians will be put in the front line to continue to push this agenda of division. Look at what this idiot is doing in Anambra State today. Look at what Soludo is doing in Anambra State. Tagging his brothers from Enugu State and the Ebonyi State, tagging them terrorists and criminals. He is tagging them troublemakers, tagging them kidnappers, tagging them thieves. And his group of insecurity that he brought together, they will catch somebody, they will interview that person, put him on video, and they'll ask him, where are you from? Ebonyi State. Where are you from? Ebonyi State. Where are you from? Ebonyi State. Where are you from? Enugu. And I will be wondering. So all the Ebonyi people are moving together in Anambra State. They don't mix up with their brothers in Anambra anymore. Ebonyi people in Anambra don't have Anambra friends. That you will come in a group of 50 people, 20 people, every one of them, Ebonyi. Yeah, this one is criminal. This one is a hawker. This one is a kidnapper. This one is one chance. And they will interview them. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What message is Soludo trying to pass with his Udagahachi and Akodo that he provided? And when he started doing that, I continue to shout on my platform here that this is a division. Something that Mazin Nandikan has fought so hard to remove. Soludo successfully brought it back. Soludo did that up to the extent that today, for somebody from Ebonyi or somebody from Enugu to get an accommodation in Anambra is becoming difficult. It's becoming difficult. Soludo focused on that agenda, trying to demonize his own brothers, creating division intentionally. This was an idiot that came to power and he said he was going to release members of IPOB in detention. Soludo visited prison where members of IPOB that committed no crime were, and he promised to release them. Up to this moment, Soludo has not released any member of IPOB. Instead, what he's going about is telling people that Biafrans are the problem. Telling people that Biafrans are the kidnappers. That the Biafrans are the organ harvesters. That Biafrans are the one causing insecurity. Biafrans are the criminals. When there are thousands of videos that are saying opposite. There are thousands of videos, evidence, people who have been involved, people who have been kidnapped and they escaped, people who have paid ransom, came out and confessed who paid and how they paid. But yet, a governor, somebody who is supposed to defend and protect his people, is in the forefront of telling the world that you are the problem. The creation of state has never done any just good. Politics is one of the Nigerian politics is one of the poison the British have put in Nigeria. And they created that poison from the beginning when they rigged the first election in Nigeria. They rigged the very first election of Nigeria, they rigged it in favor of the Fulani people. Today, every politician in Nigeria, more especially in the Southeast, are busy demonizing their people, destroying their people. Look at Hope Uzodinma. Hope Uzodinma have destroyed Imo State completely. There's nothing to write about Imo State. There's nothing to write more about Imo State. They never see anything good about their people. All they are doing is destruction, destruction, destruction. Creating chaos everywhere. Hope Uzodinma have put bounty on Gentle. What did Gentle do? Because he contacted Gentle to work for him. Gentle said, no, I will not work for you. I am working for Biafra. Hope Uzodinma contacted Gentle to work for him. Gentle said, I cannot work for you. I am working for Biafra. They put bounty on Gentle. Hope Uzodinma and Soludo, they succeeded in capturing the DOS. The DOS handed themselves over to Hope Uzodinma and Soludo. Soludo spoke about it, confessed it on national TV, that the IPOB DOS is working with them. That was when Master Simon Ekpa walked completely out and said, we are not part of them. We are not IPOB. We are not. We are not IPOB as an organization. From that moment, that was when we knew that IPOB is a pressure group of the zoological people, and that is the role they are playing. IPOB have continued to play a pressure group, political pressure group for the Southeast governors. The idiot in Switzerland confirmed it, that the governors came to them and told them to hand over the ESN, and they handed over the ESN to the governors. And after they handed over the ESN to the governors began to advertise it and use it for their own interests. It was from there the governors created the Bubago. It was from there they created the Udogachi. They created different kinds of security outfits. And after they have handed over everything to the governors, what happened? What happened? They now focus, they channel their energy on Mazi Simon Ekpa, fighting Mazi Simon Ekpa to join them. Now you feel that you can get your own, you can get us Biafra by joining the criminals that call themselves politicians. Since you feel that that is the way to go, why don't you keep yourself busy and continue to do that? You see the debt that is hovering everywhere in the Biafra land. What are you doing about the debt? What are you doing about the insecurity, loss of life and property in Biafra land? Nothing. Absolutely. The only thing you are doing today is to blackmail your brother, blackmail your sisters, to blackmail the United States of Biafra government, to blackmail the Liberation Army. That is what you are doing. And you say you look for, you want freedom. I don't know the kind of freedom you're looking for. And Chukwuokike will never forgive you. Chukwuokike will never spare you, no matter whom you are, wherever you are. And you are sponsoring, supporting the evil that is happening in Biafra land. Chukwuokike will never forgive you. He have blackmailed our soldier, gentle, and he has come to speak his mind. And he has given you the order, even with your original name. Go and verify. Go to your oracles. Go to your gods and ask questions. If you find him guilty, let him face the consequence. But if he's not guilty, every one of you that involved in this blackmail, you will pay dearly. Your entire generation will pay. Our land is burning. Our land is on fire. The least you can do today is to think of how to save your people, not how to destroy them. The land of Biafra is on fire. The least anybody can do is to think of how to save that nation, not how to destroy it. And I pray that Chukwuokike will open up our eyes to know that these criminals that call themselves politicians are not our friends, but our enemies. Let us hear this message from our Supreme Damazin Nandekano before we round up.
Amount of provocation that will make me to go to Abuja to beg for Fulani soldiers to come to our land to kill our whatever. Never.
No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, do not be discouraged. We shall overcome the challenges that are coming from east, from west, from north, from south. I want us to listen to this very message of our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekano. With this message, we are going to round up the program. Let us hear the message that is coming from our supreme leader, Mazen Nande Ukukano. Very, very important that we listen to his voice.
Rise up to defend or argue for the right of this people to the government. All of you are in for us. What people are doing, you are just in office serving for no matter if I were to be a governor, or had I been a governor in our land, there is no amount of provocation that would make me to go to Abuja to beg for Fulani soldiers to come to our land to kill our people. Never. Never. Not even billion people. But it goes to show the level of hatred that these people have for us. It goes to show the extent they are prepared to go in order to subdue the truth. And they will manage the one champion. Why are you threatening people with economic life? Why? Their means of survival. Why? Because you know you will lose. They start fighting, you will lose. I saw most otherwise now. People can make all the money you like. You can come out and talk whatever rubbish. You can falsify the news. You can pay all the journalists in the zoo to write your own narrative as entirely your business. But the truth will always speak for itself. And the truth of the matter is that you cannot win this anymore. You cannot win it. Not even if you can win it. Nobody in history has ever defeated the volunteer army of the people. Go and read it. Nobody ever. Go and study it further. We are in very critical times. If you go to my page, you will I do it a little bit of it so that others can see. If you Google the Times Martin of London, 7th of October, this is see what they did to us in the so-called 190. If after going through this, if after reading all this, you
you still believe in one idea as a Biafra, more or less as a good person, as an atheist person, as a particular person, then believe you me, there is something fundamentally wrong with your brain cells. You're not well. And these are the people that the likes of Rogers of Carlo, Dave O'Malley are forcing us to belong to. These are the people that killed us. Imagine what our soldiers will be doing in their graves, whatever they're lying today. That the same people that came to annihilate our race are being invited into our land to continue to kill by those that claim that respect us. And you want me to respect you? How is that possible? How is that possible? I ask you. How? If not for IPOB, would anybody remember 30th of May? Of course not. But you are preschool leaders. We are the leaders. We want to go. Look at the idiot. So after this very pathetic and hopeless display of cowardice and stupidity, you think I will allow you to go to Abuja to go and negotiate on behalf of IPOB? Is that what you think? How suddenly we look at you, you will start wetting your mouth. Your posture will be soaked. It's normal because you're a coward, a wretched coward. The only place you people have strength in this life is to bring army to attack your own people. That is the only time that is the only time you have to sense your powers. But when Mietiala was raping and killing my mothers, you wretched, idiotic coward, therefore man, came on television and was crying like a little baby. Did you ask the army to come to kill Mietiala or to flush them out of the good state? No, you did not. I gave the order to the men on the ground. And today, we have rid the mistake of Mietiala terrorist group. You did not do it. We did it. Not you. The only time it matters to you is to bring the army to kill your people. That is the only time people have courage and strength. That is why you people don't deserve to live that time. You people are different. Beyond different. Look at Daniel Adams. Daniel Adams. Look at Akintoye. Professor Akintoye. Look at Sunday. Let me ask all you idiots from the East, fools, how many times have you heard any so-called Yoruba here or politician rise up and say, arrest them all, kill them all, do this, how many times have I asked you? You didn't believe that in Susu. How many times? Yet you don't learn anything. That is why Fulanis are begging Yoruba every day, begging them. We will give you this, don't beg away. But look at you idiots begging every day. Oh, yes, sir, yes, yes, Alhaji, yes, Alhaji. You have nothing. You don't learn. You know what this, you don't know what to tell all of you. So God governors, you don't know nothing. They come, they promise you, Senate President. The only people that have 6 or 7 Senate President, the only one group of people. Okay, idiocy. When British, they are white masters. Ordinary Senate President you can no longer have, you can no longer get, you can no longer enjoy, never again. The time they gave it was like ping pong. After this person is that, what's that man's name again? I've forgotten his name. After that, it was Chukwuokike. After Chukwuokike, it was Parasite. After Parasite, oh my God in heaven, only one thing. The same thing you're doing today, all of you idiotic governors. That's what they're doing. And when you were doing it, you thought you were doing your people a great service. But you were doing them a greater disservice. Do you know why? After all that nonsense you've been taking, you're serving your person, all of you are loyal. You go behind the back. I ever said them undermined Chukwuokike. Chukwuokike came out and undermined with God knows whoever. The other person tell us and came. One by came, only you, only one thing. And when you were doing it, you thought you were advancing your political careers. But today, look at the consequences. No Igbo man is holding a military position. Not even David. None. That tells you that the path you people are traveling is disastrous. Disastrous. What stops you from presenting
called magnanimity. What stops all these governors from being magnanimous? To say, okay, people have done very well so far. Let us take it over from here. Every 30th of May, there's going to be a lockdown of all our land. At least, if you try it only once, believe you me, the next day your phone will ring, and that's your boyfriend, that's your lover, that Alhaji that is loving you. They will upgrade you maybe from 1 room to the penthouse of the hotel, maybe a transport where they're using you, because you're all rent boys. We know that for sure. We know that before they give you any design and you guess what they do, they will sleep with you. Isn't that what they did one of them? All these people you call the governors of people, ask them who doesn't have a boyfriend that is an Alhaji. But they are married with kids. That is why they have no soul. The Fulani will need to do that to them. It's called Dandawood. In order to remove humanity from them. If you don't know, let me tell you. These are the idiots. Some of you, wretched. I don't know how to describe you. These are the idiots you call your leaders. Do you know the meaning of leadership? Do you understand the meaning? Look at Yoruba. They are singing Yoruba national anthem in their schools. Compare that to the idiots that you have in Biafra land. Therefore, it's a logo, I don't know how to do it in English language. We'll see. I am warning everybody tonight, if you come out on the 31st on Monday, you are going to die. I don't want Nigerian army to kill you and then you start blaming people that are innocent. Because some of you hate yourselves. Self-hatred is the key killer of the destiny of this. Self-hatred. When you hate yourself, other people will hate you 4 times over. If you come out on the 31st, I'm warning everybody you're going to die. That very day down. And should the zoo army attempt any stupidity, they will be confronted on that very day too. I want people to leave the roads open. Can you hear this? Don't come outside. So that statement will protect you. Don't come outside. Let us settle this nonsense once and for all. Because the Nigerian army, they are made up of cowards. They always attack civilians. That's what they do. You defeat them, they start attacking civilians. Today they block the picture. Can you imagine something? They block the picture, shouting like mad. What they are trying to do is to see if by inflicting collective punishment on the populace, somehow it will turn against people who are fighting for the liberation. I want to remind them that the Cameroonian army tried it in Amazonia and it failed after 8 months. Now every Amazonian is a freedom fighter. You know, sometimes they think that by oppressing people, by killing people, somehow they will scare you into submission. Not knowing that they are grooming and breeding hardened freedom fighters that despise the zoo with every sin of their body. That's what they don't understand it. Look at Imo State. Only because you killed the council. Only because someone killed. Look at Imo State. Imagine when you kill the top leadership of IPOB and then you get to us. Imagine what will happen. Even every living organism, including amoeba and Euglena variety, single cell animals will perish. We are getting there very closely. And you are going to suffer. The soul will suffer. And all of you informants, let me warn you, if you know your brother, your uncle, your sister is an informant, please prepare for the prayer because they're going to die. If you are an PG, all these people, and you are pointing out, saying the IPOB lives here, they live here,
only a matter of time you're going to die. You will die. Because you are part and parcel of those pointing out freedom fighters to be killed by the enemy. Are you telling me that the people first of all, that all our soldiers that perished between 67 and 70, that they all died for nothing? Is that what you're telling me? That today you're proudly working for the flag of it. Today, the border has been opened in the West. Oduduwa fighters have confronted the Sioux, they have opened their border in the West. Are you aware of that? Now, are you aware that the gallant Oduduwa fighters have opened the front in the West? All you need to gossip, come to Facebook, come to be writing junk, rubbish of it. When they came to my house to kill me on the 14th of September 2017, without doing anything wrong to this, I was fighting for my people. That's all. When they killed us at National High School, I thought, what did we do wrong? Out of all, how did we offend anybody? Nothing. They were killing us. Now that God has sent his angels to come and protect the weak, now you have discovered where your pen is. You're in there, you're typing and writing rubbish, as if it has an effect or it will have any effect on us. Of course, you know it's going to. It will never have any effect on us. Look at the people telling you, do not come and make sure you disobey this, that, or other. By and the camera, don't obey it. The same people, but in their own land, they have Sharia. When all these police commissioners in River State, in Imo State, in Abia, in Enugu, when you people, you Muslims legislating for Sharia in the north, then you got to stop you. But you're in our land. You're in our land. Telling us what to do. I said it before, and allow me to repeat. As soon as Biafra comes, at every entry point into Biafra, every seaport, every airport, every land crossing, there will be a DNA kit. We'll have a sample of Fulani Janjaweed DNA on one side. And we'll have a sample of Biafran DNA on the other side. We'll test everybody coming in. If you have Fulani Janjaweed DNA inside you, send it back to the side. Because they are making them. You people make me sick. They don't understand that they are making us stronger. Don't look at the history of freedom fighting and making us stronger. Hitler killed 6 million Jews, thinking after killing them, somehow Jews will bow and submit. Today, Israel has the best army in the whole world. That's how human life is. I want to let the information understand something. Take your phone. Some of you have 3 or 4 phones. Take one of your phones. Tell that your phone, the mobile phone, you're holding in your right and left hand. I am going to use you to injure my body. You see, this body you're going to suffer. Start to rub your phone on a particular spot at the back of your arm or anywhere of the body. Keep rubbing it. Every day, keep rubbing it. You know, previously your skin used to be very soft. But as time goes on, you will find out that that place you've been rubbing all the time, putting pressure all the time, has acquired some measure of hardness as human nature for you. And I want every Fulani Janjaweed to do this very, very simple experiment. Take any object, be rubbing it against your skin slowly. That's your skin that is very soft. After 3 or 4 days, you will notice that that part you've been rubbing all the time has developed a semblance of toughness. Even in nature do not capitulate. What makes you think that we are going to capitulate? Impossible. Maybe your father is a permanent secretary, or maybe minister, or maybe commissioner, or maybe eating from Goku's or Devil. Maybe they get you a contract. All of you. Nobody is stopping you from enjoying whatever you're enjoying with God. But allow those fighting for their freedom to fight for their freedom. You have no right to be. Allow me to be on the 31st. If you come outside, you will die. If you're a road transporter,
for a transport worker or whatever. You know how people behave. They want to drive. Who can tell them what to do? I'm going to drive. That they will perish. On the 31st, they will perish. So that when you die and go to the world beyond, you will meet the likes of the Godson and the living thing with her, dealing with her that idiot right now. Do you understand? The era of our idiocy has come and gone. All that the era of the slave has finished. 2021. If you finish writing all your rubbish, on Monday you sit at home. On Monday you inside your house. Because there are places in our land where foolishness is in very high supply. Omaha is one of them. One of the most foolish places we have on this earth is Omaha, my so-called hometown. Very foolish. That was the last headquarters of Biafra before Biafra fell. But they are very, very foolish. But on Monday, we're going to give them a lesson. Monday. Let them come out, they're going to go to market to go and open shop. I want anybody, any chairman of any market that is open, any market you open, the chairman will hear from us. In Biafra, any market you open, you will hear from us. Another idiotic place is Enugu, our own capital. Look at how foolish all Biafran capitals are. Enugu is another place. I don't know if half of them is born by Fulani, I have no idea. I'm warning all of you in Enugu. On the 31st, you sit at home. If you come outside, you will experience miracle. Every miracle you'll be waiting for all your life, you will see it. You import the land. Enugu is known for their stupidity and non-compliance. Omaha is known for their stupidity and non-compliance, and those are actually. If you attempt to come out in any of these places, anything that befalls you, you carry it on your own head. Because people are foolish. On the 12th of June, all of you will sit at home. It will be a holiday. You will remember Yoruba man. You idiots. You will remember the Yoruba man was sitting at home. One man. In our own case, we lost 5 million people. And if you don't sit at home, we'll make you sit at home by force. People, no wonder we are suffering. You have no appreciation of the sacrifice of the dead. You think everything is mercantilism, is buying and selling. You convert every situation into a currency. You always look at the monetary value of every circumstance you find yourself in. That is why we have spiritualists and traders with them. They want to convert their position into money so that Abuja can recognize them and come and give them money. They will get all of you one after the other. You will see what will happen to you. Warri is Biafra land, they must join the lockdown. Asaba always complies. Asaba will comply. You carry their basket. You are going to market. Can I change one again? I'll leave that there. The land will teach you. From every Sharia state in the north. Attack and chase away. Once in a while, you see Channels TV, they will write, we killed 10 Boko Haram today. Have you ever seen them before write and say we've killed ISIS before? You people that cannot reason very well. What does that tell you about the relationship between these terrorist governments and ISIS in West Africa? But your brain will not go there with it. After all, they switch you black people. Or what do you know? Your brain cannot go there. I'm asking you, have you ever seen them write on the pages of newspapers that they successfully engaged ISIS in West African province? No, never. They always say Boko Haram, Boko Haram, Boko Haram. Because them and ISIS are working in tandem. A terrorist government. A terrorist as a police commissioner is telling us what to do. After killing us. Should I say 5 million of us many years ago?
Every informant in Biafra land will be identified and arrested and dealt with. I can show you what that. I know that Dave Romahi is serving full and interest in our land. Ever since we drove away his Mietiala friends, he has been at the forefront of the arrest and execution of many young people in the state. This evil man even had the presence of mind to ask people not to remember the dead. And we just remembering them for nothing. They fought and died for us. Even on every January the 15th, the zoo called Nigeria will remember their soldiers. And you're asking us not to remember those that saved our lives. Without them today, who knows? Maybe I will be asking Arnold. Who knows? We must honor them. As somebody wrote now on Instagram, the word is enough for the wise. He said, I am now about the 91st. You know the way we love them, brothers. Your obituary will happen. At least we've got them in the rice. Yeah. Monday is a lockdown. My fellow Biafrans, once in a while, we always go back to the messages of Mazen Nandekano to refresh our memories. We are coming from a very far place to make us remember where we are coming from and how far we have gone. It is very important. That is why I will continue to bring different parts of the messages of Mazi Nandekan. You saw how he described the politicians, the people that they call politicians that claim to be representing you. You saw whom they are. Mazi Nandekan naked them in this very program, told you what they are doing, how they are being used as Dandawudu by the Northerners, how they get the appointment they get, and what they stand for. And these people are still there today. Now they are preparing to go for another election. And some of you are already singing for them. Sorry. Sorry, you don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're doing. These are the people that this so-called DOS that is blackmailing our soldier. They are working with these people that Mazen Nandekan is talking about. These Dandawudu, who are being used by the Northern Caliphates. The people that Mazen Nandekan has nothing to do with. You saw him medically. If you want to focus on your politics, take your money, but don't bring your madness to the Biafran struggle. Deal with your politics. Our problem is that they begin to focus on the Biafra agitation that they are not part of. They begin to fight against the freedom of the people. That is the major problem that we're having with them. And we cannot accept that. We will not. And anybody that is working with these criminals that call themselves governors, call themselves lawmakers, if you're working with them, you are worse than the devil. You're worse than the devil. And no word from your mouth can be trusted. No single word from your mouth can be trusted. You can imagine an informant of Nigerian government coming to bring message against Liberation Army of Biafra and you believe him. That's the worst thing you can do, to believe such kind of nonsense. May Chukwuokike Abiama continue to guide and protect his people. Let us continue to pray for a Liberation Army, wherever they may be, for divine protection, for guidance, for safety and security, wherever they are. Whatever you are doing to see the actualization of Biafra, please continue to do so. Don't look back. Don't give up. We are going to win this battle, no matter what happens. May Chukwuokike Abiama guide and protect every single one of us as Biafrans. And may Chukwuokike Abiama guide and protect our leaders, wherever they may be, and bring them back to us as soon as possible. Give them wisdom, knowledge, understanding, wherever they may be. We are going to win this battle. It doesn't matter how difficult it is. We don't have any other option. It is only Biafra or Biafra. I wish we had an option, but there's no other option except Biafra. That is why we will continue to move and fight until the last man standing. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. See you again tomorrow morning on our usual program. Join us in the morning hours tomorrow, and we will continue from where we stop. Thank you so much, and stay blessed. Bye-bye. Thank you.
This is my wicked word. This is my confusion word. Listen to Palibran. I'm really telling you a story about one lady girl. Polly they go to work. Polly they work for bank. Then I enter for motor. The river they go. Opposite Udi. By the rocky hand the side. Along Gusukudu Road. I see people run. I see people run. Then I ask the driver. The driver waiting they happen. The driver waiting they happen. The driver tell the party boy. See no day for talk. See no day for talk. It better you take your eye and see. Then I call the driver. The driver waiting. The driver waiting.